Welcome, MCBCFA read-along members. This is part 3 of the Death of Superman, Superman number 74. I'm Mike Rader, and I'm hosting for you today. Superman 74 was published in December of 1992, just like issues 1 and 2 of this series or story arc. This is again writer, artist Dan Jurgens, but finishing art by Brett Breeding. I said last issue that was probably my favorite of the art involved. I probably lied. When Breeding finishes Jurgens, I think it's a better overall look. So, my apologies. We last left off with the Justice League getting it handed to them in Justice League America 69, and Superman coming in with the creature being named. Now, we open up on a scene of Ted Kord, comatose and nearly dead. We follow. Maxima appears fairly cold towards this situation, just like, boom, he's going to die a warrior's death, that's great. But this is not out of character, so don't think, wow, who is it for her? Her main motive is just finding superior DNA. Hence the reason she's around Superman. She decided that the person she should mate with or get his DNA for future offspring is Superman. So she either became an ally or she was either an agonist or an antagonist for Superman. She was an ally or an enemy. So there we go. But this surprises Ice for some reason. She's appalled that she would even say this about Ted. I don't know how. They're teammates. I don't know how. I got it. I gathered it in a few panels. So I feel like that's a little off. But hey, no problem. But she does convince Maxima in the end to take Ted to get some help at the hospital because she's the only one who could do it. And she says she would fend off Doomsday in her stead. Okay. This moves us back along. And remember in the last issue we had one panel with that wise guy backwards hat wearing. He's a 90s kid, right? Let's just call him the 90s kid. Mitch. Now, Mitch was listening to that Superman Q&A. He was kind of a wise guy, like I said. But he's even worse to his mom when he gets home. He's kind of disrespecting her. Really seems like it's a really hard push on a 90s kid. But that can't, as he's getting farther and farther and saying more and more hurtful things about his mom or to his mom about his situation, he's interrupted by ice flying through the window as Doomsday breaks up the happy reunion. So he threw her through the window, and as they look out, it looks like the car is coming next. Good thing that is stopped. Booster and Superman pop in, and they kind of reinforce the naming, right? He says, "What was it you called him, Booster?" "Oh yeah, Doomsday." And Superman takes a punch right to the chest. I'm not sure if Doomsday knew what to expect from Superman because he actually handled the League fairly easily, but he becomes enraged. Anger's here, and then sidekick Superman just sends him flying. And Superman says he's never been hit that hard. It's unbelievable how hard this creature hit him. He goes through the house and through the tree in the back. With this little respite, Doomsday takes to putting some more damage onto Booster. Booster is down and out, and he wonders, where is the rest of the League? The house gets crushed even more. It was already kind of in shambles from Superman flying through it. Ice gets crushed even more. She was already in shambles from flying through the house earlier. But he puts a fist in her back. Looks like it's pretty much doing her off. The League pops in finally to Booster's not surprise, but to his excitement. He says, "The cavalry is on the scene." So we have the League minus Maxima. She's off taking Ted Kord to the hospital. They decide to hit Doomsday with a collaborative effort. We got a nice little scene of that, a couple panels. I like it. Here and here looks pretty good. Notably, the funny part is, guy needs his help. His face is so swelled up. He's just, I need some help aiming, and he'll do the rest. And so he fires the ring off. Their powers are getting maxed out. Everyone's getting exhausted. They say, yeah, we should. Doomsday can't still be standing, right? I mean, that's got to be right. We've hit him with everything. Wrong. He's still there, and he got revealed. So we get a good shot of his face, which I think this is a cool picture. We get the face in the background, and we get this look up here. Now, I personally loved when Doomsday actually has on the rubber suit. I loved that rubber suit. I mean, I liked the bone knuckles coming through, and some of the other parts. But I just thought he was so cool with the red goggles and the rubber suit, which is amazingly strong because it took all that as well and barely was damaged. But we see him, and he quickly dispatches the League. This is more of a power reveal. Again, just showing how strong he is. The fight ensues for 2 or 3 pages, and Bloodwind says, you know, here it is. I'm going to blast this whore with my I-beams. And when he does it, though, boom! Doomsday's a little too fast, sends an I-beam errantly, hitting the house. That kind of sends stuff all out of control. The house catches fire and explodes. So, that sends the League flying. Characters are laying all over. The house is in flames. Mitch and his mom and baby sister are trapped. But amongst all this wreckage, there's more laughter from Doomsday. Just right in the middle. As he's squatting to leave. Just laughing amongst the fire. I like this picture of Superman. I think these would look pretty solid. Very stern-looking Superman. He's hell-bent on getting after Doomsday. He says here, so everyone's out. Mitch is trying to help his mom and baby sister. He cannot. So he's really worried about them now. He's kind of changed his tune from when we saw him earlier in this issue. He was really disrespectful, not happy about the situation. So Mitch has changed his attitude towards his mom and his baby sister. Now he's much more worried. It's a totally different thought than he was at the very beginning. And he's calling for Superman. Superman has a fairly callous reaction to this and just says, no, I have to chase after Doomsday. I have to ignore these pleas for help. And it's kind of like he justifies himself, basically. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, right? He kind of says that, but when you look at it, and it's a great panel. Look at the anguish on Superman's face. I just think this is great. I think this is a fantastic looking piece. It just contradicts his thoughts, but his actual outward emotions are totally opposite, which is excellent. And so that pretty much brings us to the end. That's the end of it. That's right at the end. It's almost there. And it's just, you hear Mitch one more time. Superman, please, you just gotta come back. Please. He's pleading. He's upset. So, that brings us to the end of this issue, which brings me to my thoughts, wrap-up thoughts. I feel like this is another solid issue from Jurgens. I give this one a 4 out of 5. I was initially going to go a little lower, but the last panel for me just totally sold it. His thought process, he does it, and it's more of a logical, calculated thought, but not happy about it. His facial expression shows he's not happy about it. This was really good. It showed League devastation. I mean, just again, tearing the League apart. Innocence all in trouble constantly, putting innocence in the way of in the line of fire, and just the maniacal laughter. I felt like it's a classic villain setup. We got a really good run here in the middle. So we hit. I feel like we started out good. We kind of plateaued. Really didn't do much for us. I felt, and we kind of went up again. And we're going to see what happens to us here as we're running through the middle at number 3. So, that's the end. Join us again tomorrow for part 4 of The Death of Superman. Alright, have a good night.